Okay, how's it going, everybody? I hope it's all good. Okay, so in this episode, what I want to try to do is to give two very famous accounts of the narcissistic person and life. First, one that's rooted in ancient mythology, and then another that's to be found in a more modern classic work of fiction. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so the word narcissism comes from the ancient Greek myth of, well, Narcissus. A myth that we get from, among other sources, the Roman poet Ovid. So, according to what we read in Ovid, Narcissus was an extremely beautiful young man who was desired by everybody who saw him. Narcissus, however, rejects everybody, including the beautiful nymph Echo, whom he spurns so cruelly that she literally wastes away. Now, the myth goes that one day Narcissus, tired of the heat and tired of hunting, takes rest by a spring with the clearest water. And when he bent down to drink from it, he became captivated by the reflection that he saw there. He fell passionately in love with it, at first not knowing that it was his own reflection, but then discovering eventually that it was. Now, Narcissus tried incessantly to kiss and to embrace it, but he just couldn't ever catch hold of it. But still, he couldn't tear himself away from it either. So, utterly consumed by the watery image, Narcissus lost all thought of food or rest. Obsessed by the image, paying no attention to anything else, what happened is that Narcissus gradually lost his strength and withered away. And where he died, a daffodil blossomed. Okay, so that's the mythological story. Well, so what's the other account of the narcissistic person? Well, it comes from Oscar Wilde and his very interesting novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. So what's that story about? Well, like the mythical Narcissus, Dorian Gray was a very attractive young man. But here's the thing. His physical beauty coexisted with an equal beauty of character. In other words, he was a nice person too. Okay, well, so what happens is that Dorian's good looks soon attracts the interest of a painter who paints his portrait. At the same time, Dorian is befriended by a dilettante, Lord Henry, who flatters him and makes him think that he's special because of his good looks. And Lord Henry pushes him to attend to and to preserve his good looks. So, because of this, Dorian becomes more and more concerned with maintaining his appearance. So desperate, what he does is he prays that he will stay beautiful forever, and instead that the portrait of him will age. The reverse of things. And of course, he gets his wish. Dorian then passes the years without ever aging, without a wrinkle on his face reflecting the cares of living. And of course, he becomes increasingly superficial and lives a hedonistic life, hurting many other people along the way. Now, here's the thing. During all this time, he never looks at his portrait. However, finally, his curiosity gets the best of him and he uncovers it. Now, what does he see? Well, he sees a twisted, aged face that strikes him with horror. So repulsed is he by what he sees that he slashes it with a knife. The next morning, Dorian is found lying in front of his picture with a knife in his heart, lying there, an old man with a twisted, aged face. Okay, so now, what do these stories suggest to us? Well, first of all, it's that a narcissist doesn't want to see who they really are. They don't want to face reality, which in Dorian's case is his portrait, which, of course, after the wish is made, represents him as he really is. And in the case of Narcissus, it's looking inward away from his reflection that he doesn't want to turn. No, the narcissist only wants an image. They want the surface. They want appearance. They don't want the inner. The narcissist identifies with the idealized image, and they hide the actual self-image. Now, why do they hide it? Well, because, like it was for Dorian, it's unacceptable to them. That's to say, who they really are is intolerable because it reveals actual imperfections. But you know what? Now that I think about it, it's even worse than this for the mythological Narcissus. I mean, Narcissus doesn't even at first recognize himself in the water. And then when he learns it is him, he takes himself to be that insubstantial image. It's not as if he's trying to hide from himself by associating with his reflection. No, his reflection is entirely him. So, Narcissus has no sense of self at all. He's completely empty inside. He's nothing. Okay, well, the other thing that these stories suggest is that narcissists, they don't touch and live life. I mean, Narcissus rejected any actual connection with others, right? Including echo, in favor of spending all of his time just gazing at his own beauty. And Dorian Gray, well, his smooth complexion was really the consequence of the denial of feeling. In other words, that he didn't allow any lines of worry in his face was because he didn't allow life to affect him. He didn't live in a way where he was genuinely connected to others, sharing in their trials and tribulations. So, in other words, because they were so concerned with themselves, Narcissus and Dorian were unable to love. And at the end of the day, then what these stories reveal is, well, the tragedy that is the life of self-admiration. What they show us is that to be a narcissist is to forgo genuine self-knowledge and deep and engaged living and genuine love. Now, here's the thing. I think stories like the myth of Narcissus and the picture of Dorian Gray are particularly apt in our contemporary society. In a society where social media promotes and encourages narcissism, and where technology drives people to solipsism. I mean, in a world of selfies and profiles and self-advertising, the insubstantial image is absolutely everything, right? And self-fixation rules the day. People live on social media as virtual, immaterial selves more than they live an embodied reality with others around them. We have, in effect, become something like two-dimensional selves, increasingly incapable of seeing anything other than our own image. And we live in a technologically sealed and hermetic world, which blocks us from a genuine reaching out to others. And love? Well, love seems to have been reduced to nothing but a kind of autoeroticism. But here's the thing. Where love is nothing but self-love, the world shrinks considerably and the bounty of life gets passed over, as Narcissus's last few days attests to. I mean, it's worth pointing out something, that from the word Narcissus comes narcotic. And that is what being fascinated with your own image is. It's being dumb to the world and to life. Bye for now.